guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. This video has been inspired by a channel by the name of Ryan McBeth. I've been watching the Ryan McBeth channel for the last couple weeks. He's been doing a lot of talk about some of the stuff going on in Ukraine and talking about it from an infantryman's perspective. He used to be in the infantry, and he talks about some of his experiences. But lately he's been telling a few funny Army stories, and it kind of inspired me to, tell one of my funny Army stories. I left a comment in one of his videos saying, I'd like to tell the story about the tomb of the unknown cat. And he said he'd love to hear that. So here it is. I'm going to go ahead and tell this. I thought it might be fun. If you like this video, then go ahead and, tell me in the comments below, and maybe I'll do another one or something. But because infantry guys always have the best stories. And if you didn't know, I was in the infantry for one enlistment back in the late 90s. And one enlistment was enough, but you always have great stories. Anyway, so we were on deployment in Macedonia. This was during just before the whole Kosovo thing kicked off in '99. But tensions were running high because Serbia, at the breakup of the Yugoslavian government, Serbia basically took all of the arms from all the other countries that it used to be part of. And the other countries felt bullied, and they wanted UN protection. And because we were there for a police action in Macedonia to kind of basically help guard the Serbs, it was called Operation Able Sentry. Again, just a police action, nothing too extravagant or exciting. But basically, we were on these observation posts out on the border, and we watched the Serbian border, and there was a lot of tanks on the other side of the border, and every observation post, here is actually an overhead shot of an observation post. This was Uniform 5-4 out there on the Serbian border. And basically, you had one tow missile that was aimed in their direction, and your job was to shoot the lead tank and then run because there was no way you were going to stop their tanks if they decided to come in. Anyway, so that was Uniform 5-4, and then there was also Uniform 09. This is pictured here, which was the main post in which we operated from all the other observation posts. And basically, the small post, you were on these small observation posts basically you and 10 other guys. I think it was 11 guys because you had 10 guys and a medic. And you basically ran patrols, either helo insertions or different places, and then Humvee patrols, whatever. And that's what you did for about 6 months. You ran these patrols, but every so often you rotated back to 09, which was the larger base, and you did duties there. Some of them you would guard the embassy, or not the embassy. It was not the embassy. It was the UN headquarters. It was the FIROM headquarters, UN headquarters there. You had guard duty for that. You had guard duty for guard towers, and you were on part of the time for the Quick Reaction Force, QRF. Anyway, here's a picture of me at one of the observation posts with a couple of helicopter pilots. These were civilian contractor pilots because the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, FIROM, which was what they were called at the time, or maybe they're still called that, I don't know. They didn't have pilots who were trained to fly helicopters, so they had to basically have all their helicopters flown by civilian contractors. And here I am pictured with some of those. And then this is me with a couple of the guys that I did night guard with one night. Somebody snapped a photo. There's me in the middle. And this is what the actual UN guard towers at Uniform 09 looked like. And all around Uniform 09 were these giant guard towers. And basically what you did is you rotated from guard tower to guard tower, every hour. Okay, you had basically an 8 or 9 hour shift, whatever it was. And you did a rotation every hour. You went to a new post. And the guy from the next tower would come and relieve you. And you go to the next tower after that. You'd relieve him, and so on and so forth until you reached one guard tower. And at that point, you rotated and you had an hour break, and that was the end of your shift, and you could take some time off, or depending on where in the shift process you were, you could go to the DFAC and you could eat. And so I was rotating around, and this was in the middle of winter. I think the winter of 97, 98. So it was freezing cold. There was about a foot of snow on the ground, and it was like double negative digits. Whatever. It was freezing cold, amazing, crazy cold out there. And so I go to this next guard post where I'm supposed to go, and I relieve the guy who's in that guard tower. And as I'm getting ready to walk up the steps into the guard tower, there's this dead cat just laying on the ground. I'm like, hey, what's up with the cat? And he's like, I don't know. It was here when I got here. I'm like, well, it's frozen to death. He's like, yeah, no, duh. And so I picked up the cat and by the leg, I picked up the cat and I threw it up on the concertina wire. And it just stuck like Velcro because it's concertina wire. And it just kind of bounced there for a minute. And we both got a chuckle out of it. And, it stayed there. The cat stayed on the concertina wire. And he went into the DFAC and I got up in the tower and spent my hour. By the time the hour went around where I got relieved, it was my turn to go into the DFAC. The DFAC stands for dining facility, if you didn't know. By the time it was my turn to go eat, I get into the DFAC, and the story has spread like wildfire that I threw this cat up on the concertina wire. And everyone supposedly got a chuckle out of it and was laughing. And I sit down, and my squad leader, he's an E5. I was an E4 at the time, or E3, I'm not sure. And I think I was an E3. I didn't get my E4 until I got back out of rotation out of that deployment. But anyway, he did not like me. The E5, my squad leader, did not like me. We did not get along. Sergeant Sammons, I believe was his name. Sergeant Sammons. I was wondering, I'm like, what was his name? I don't remember. Sergeant Sammons. We and him did not get along. And I sat down and I kind of laughed. He's like, I don't know why you're laughing. That's not funny. I'm like, what do you mean? It's kind of funny. He's like, no, I don't think that's funny at all. In fact, I think that's animal abuse. I don't like what you did at all. In fact, I want you to go out there. I want you to take that cat down off the wire and I want you to bury it. I'm like, seriously? Animal abuse? The cat's already dead. I didn't do anything. But he was really angry. He was really upset. And I don't know if he was really upset or if he was just trying to, get on my nerves because me and him didn't get along. It was just, another opportunity for him to get on my case about something. So I go out there, I get the cat off the wire, which took a little bit of time, and I buried it. I buried the cat like he told me to do, but he was really upset about it. Me being a smart aleck like I was, I buried it with one paw sticking up out of the ground. So this cat is buried with a paw sticking up out of the ground. And, that was hilarious. And that word about that got around pretty quick. And I was called before him and the platoon sergeant. And Sergeant Sammons, the E5 squad leader, wanted the platoon sergeant to file an Article 15 on me for animal abuse. He's like, this is animal abuse, and you need to be disciplined. And the platoon sergeant wasn't going to do Article 15, but he wanted to give me an Article 15 for putting this cat up on the concertina wire and then burying it in a disrespectful fashion. And give me an Article 15. And Article 15, if you don't know, it's like a disciplinary action. It goes in your file, and it's a loss of rank and pay. You lose rank, and you lose pay. And he wanted to give me an Article 15 for burying this cat with a paw sticking up out of the ground. Thankfully, the squad leader the platoon sergeant didn't want to do that. But he made me, for disciplinary action instead, he made me go out and stand guard for an hour. It was a couple hours. I stood guard over the tomb of the unknown cat. I had to rebury the cat and stand guard over the tomb of the unknown cat. And everyone wanted to know, what's Bauer out there for? Why is he staying out there? Well, he's standing guard over the cat. So yes, I was never part of the Washington, D.C. Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, 3rd Infantry Division. No, I had the illustrious position of standing guard over the tomb of the unknown cat instead in Macedonia, the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. That poor Yugoslavian cat finally had its last burial rites given to it. So anyway, it's a funny story. I usually share that sometimes when people ask about Army stuff, and we always have funny stories to tell. There's lots of stories, but that was one of them. That was the one I was going to share. So anyway, like the video if you like the story, and if you want more of these, maybe I can give some more every so often. I'll throw another story out there. But that was inspired by Ryan McBeth. Go ahead and check out his channel. I'll leave a link in the description below of his channel. He's given some pretty good information about the stuff going on over there in Ukraine from a soldier's perspective, and I've learned a lot from him, and so maybe you will too. So, all right, we'll leave it at that. See you next time in Homestead. Bye. Hey guys, I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system. And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more. It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.